Mariners lead the White Sox 1-0 in the top of the 8th with a runner at first and one out.
Here for Seattle.
Cam Boozer comes into the game. His first pitch to the leadoff man, JP, is a sweeper outside and down. Ball 1. JP tonight has a single in the 3rd inning. That's his only hit in 3 at-bats. Upstairs, ball 2.
Cam Boozer has been a consistent left arm out of the bullpen. Now officially labeled a closer. But the White Sox
fastball high again. It's quickly 3-0 on JP. Boozer losing them here. One out, Ben Williamson at first. 3-0 offering. In there, strike 1.
7 on that inside corner, strike 1.
And that's a walk.
And 1-out walk.
JP draws a walk.
The runners on it.
And now the Mariners are in business here. They got Ben Williamson at second. And now JP at first.
Mitch Garver, longtime catcher, pitch hitting, and that's why Ethan Katz is coming out.
We will get
Garver's got
a mound visit from the White Sox pitching coach before the first pitch to Mitch Garver.
They thought for a long time this offseason that Garver would be their designated hitter. But it hasn't worked out that way.
So the shortstop Chase Mydrov also in on this conversation on the mound.
Williamson at second. JP at
Boozer's
first,
only
1 out. In the top of the 8th, Mitch Garver at the plate.
But Garver doesn't run particularly well if you can get
And
him
here we
on
go.
the ground. It could be an easy 2.
Look over at second. Now the first pitch to Garver is inside.
This
Ball
is
1.
way inside to Mitch Garver. The 34-year-old catcher broke into the big leagues back in 2017 with Minnesota. And this is his 2nd season here with the Mariners.
Garver rips one foul.
Will Little on the call. That one almost
Count tie at 1.
went right at him. Unfortunately, it hooked foul.
Delivery. Garver pops it foul.
For a down year last year. And
1-2 now.
114 games, hit 172 in his first season with Seattle. As Boozer trying to put him away here.
They have pitch from Boozer. Garver, high fly ball. To left field, it'll drop. Base hit.
In front of Slater. Now he had that.
As the bases are loaded with 1 out.
So the bases are loaded with 1 out.
After Mitch Garver
Williamson knew that you can't give
drops a single in the left just in front of Austin Slater.
What's going to happen? This is a cutter away.
And now,
doesn't get a whole lot of it.
who's that going to bring up?
Gets just
for the
enough to
outs.
dump it into left field and load the bases, and now the infield forced in. And you see the hesitation. And a tough task with Rodriguez.
Infield's now in. Julio high fly ball to left field. Backing up is Slater. And it's a grand slam for Julio Rodriguez. He ambushes Boozer on the first pitch. And the Mariners have broken it open with a grand slam to left field from the face of the Mariners franchise, Julio Rodriguez.
Well, you wanted to end this one without seeing Rodriguez this
And he
inning.
raises the trident.
Pretty much ensured that that was going to happen, and Rodriguez comes up. It's his 8th home run. It drives in.
And now, after the grand slam, Cal Raleigh right away up to the plate. And he takes a sweeper in the zone for strike one. Cal is hitless tonight. And he hits a foul ball back toward the broadcast teams. Quickly, 0-2 on him.
Where we have not seen much offense is Julio Rodriguez with his 2nd career grand slam. Give the Mariners a 5-0 lead here in his 8th inning.
Changeup spiked. Ball one. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Couldn't connect on a sweeper right down the middle.
This is a cutter.
And Raleigh
It doesn't break sharp.
strikes out, 2 outs.
Rodriguez
At the top of the 8th.
Hit it on the good spot of the bat. Will Venable brought in Boozer to neutralize Crawford, take Polanco out of the game, let him hit from the weak side. Garver got the base hit after the Crawford walk, and it set up Rodriguez with the bases loaded.
A young man burst onto the scene in his first year in 2022. Remember that All-Star game where he was in that home run derby? Built in 81 home runs in that derby, and everyone knew his name after his rookie season in 2022.
It was Edgar Martinez, the Hall of Famer, that took over as the hitting coach and really helped Rodriguez. Because he was at the point where things weren't working well.
2 outs in the 8th.
Swinging at just about every slide.
Mariners have blown this one open. They lead 5-0
Got it back to
over the
looking
White
at
Sox.
Understanding how to recognize the spin, to let that ball go,
And
and
up to
then
the
swinging pitches in the zone. And when he did
well,
that,
before we get a new batter, Will
Rodriguez
Venable is taking
became
Cam
the
Boozer
guy
out of the game. We'll get a pitching change.
everybody predicted
Here
would be
for the
one of
White Sox.
great stars in this game, and still has a chance to be.
And we will be right back from right
Cam
field
warms up, we'll step
on the
out,
south side.
and we'll be back.
New pitcher for the White Sox. New pitcher for the White Sox, Yoendris Gomez. Ooh, I'm going to have a hard time saying his name. Now comes in to relieve Boozer with 2 outs in the 8th.
His 8th inning.
They'll face Randy. He's bounced around this year. Been on the Mets, Dodgers, and now on the White Sox. As he misses inside on his first offering to Randy, it's 1-0. Sweeper in the zone. Count tied at 1. Swing and a miss. Inside changeup that ran off the plate, and Randy waved at and missed it.
3rd time we have seen Gomez out of the bullpen for the White Sox. And to see the stuff, it moves.
Payoff pitch from Gomez. Oh, a nasty sweeper to freeze Randy. He goes down looking to end the inning, but the Mariners blow it open with a grand slam by Julio. 5-0 Mariners. We'll be right back from the south side. New pitcher for the Mariners, it's Colin Snyder.
Walk anybody? And Edgar Caro is going to come out to pitch hit.
And we get a pinch hitter for
catcher Edgar
the
Caro.
Sox. It's
First
Edgar.
appearance of the ball game here. To start this bottom of the 8th inning. And see if the White Sox offense can get something going here. Just 3 hits tonight. And all 3 hits coming in different innings.
Edgar a lefty, Snyder the righty. Favorable odds to Edgar here. Here's the first pitch. And a sinker that sits in the zone, strike one. Strike two, sinker up and in.
Care, this is his 26th Major League Baseball game.
Good start to the outing for Snyder.
Season.
Maybe we can get Edgar down on 3 straight pitches. And I jinxed
Break
that.
up a streak of 14 White Sox hitters in a row being retired.
That's how good Castillo was in this ball game.
1-2 pitch.
Strikes.
Edgar fouls it off.
Emergency swing to stay alive.
This is really a great pitcher's duel. Davis Martin was outstanding through 7 1/3. Luis Castillo was equally as good, maybe just a touch better.
Got him.
Fastball by him.
High fastball gets Edgar to swing and miss.
Sox postgame line presented by
1 out.
We check in with Chuck and Ozzy.
Tough to stomach what happened with Davis Martin here. He was pitching so great, and then boom, 5-0 lead for the Seattle Mariners here tonight.
Anyway, one thing about I'm very positive. Martin continued to throw the ball very well. I love pitching. I love close game, and he did his job. Unfortunately, they scored for run that inning for the White Sox.
All right, Sox need some runs here. We'll see you on the post-game show. Back to you guys in the booth.
All right, thank you very much.
Josh Rojas takes the first pitch for a strike. He's hitting this tonight.
Davis Martin's
And he
last
swings and misses to that fastball.
Maybe he got even better here tonight.
Nothing to two. Colin Snyder
Because he's facing a much better
doing a really good
offense
job at
Mariners than he was in
throwing pitches
Cincinnati.
for strikes here.
Cincinnati with a lot of injuries, depleted offensively.
Already an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. And it's an outside fastball.
In the neighborhood of 5 runs a game, you're getting
1
it
and
done.
2.
Dan Wilson likes the combination of speed. They've got very good inner defense, and they have a lot of power. They hit home runs, they draw walks, and they score a lot of runs.
Rojas fouls that pitch off. He's
The two
stay alive.
hitters in the lineup for the Mariners lead Major League Baseball with 37 home runs now. Coming into the night with an OPS of 845, 2 through 4 in the lineup.
They also will draw their walks. They've got a pretty good eye as a team.
1-2 again.
And that
Rojas
leads to
taps that one
substantial
foul.
rallies because it's pretty tough in the major leagues to get 3-4 hits in a row. If you mix a walk or 2 in there, you got yourself a big inning. We saw it there. The key walk of the ball game was Crawford. Then it set the stage for Rodriguez to come up in that inning.
Sweeper that ended up in the other batter's box. The count is tied at 2.
One away here in this bottom of the 8th. A 2-2 count here to the second baseman, Josh Rojas.
And Rojas goes down swinging and a sinker at the knees.
To start the inning.
2 down.
White Sox fans, create your perfect season with the 10-ticket all-access pack. Get access to the crosstown series against the Cubs and choose your games and series that work best for you and your schedule. To purchase, visit whitesox.com/flexpack.
Now the 9 hitter for the White Sox, Tim Elko. And he takes a sinker inside, and Snyder gets the call. Strike 1.
Now 16 White Sox hitters in a row retired.
Cutter
Will be Tim
blowing
Elko
away.
put an end to that.
Count tied at 1. That's a slurve that drops in the zone for strike 2.
Pull up this season. What's amazing about his story was that he wasn't a highly rated prospect. 10th round draft pick out of college after all the heroics he did at Ole Miss.
Payoff pitch
championship in 2022.
to Tim Elko. And it's a sinker that just missed downstairs. Really good take from Elko. The count is tied at 2.
To start the season.
Power is something that's very difficult to come by these days. Used to be exclusively pitching. Now, try to find yourself some power. It's
2-2.
not easy to do.
Tim Elko, ground ball, foul.
Fights off that cutter to stay alive. 2 balls, 2 strikes to count to Elko.
Elko pops it up,
Right side.
throws the bat down. Rowdy's over, and he's backing up. He makes the catch. White Sox go down quietly. The lead stays at 5, and we head to the 9th inning at Wright Field. Austin Slater's night is done. Michael A. Taylor now replaces him in left, and Gomez stays in to go for the 9th.
Gomez came
First
on.
batter will be Rowdy.
Ran into end the top of the 8th.
And it's a curveball that drops the ball into the zone for strike 1.
Tellez.
Rowdy's hitless tonight. He had a walk in his last at bat. And a changeup that just missed outside.
That wild
Ball
ball
one.
in Miami. Cubs getting walked off.
Miami found a way to stop the Cubs' reign of terror. And St. Louis is winning their ball game, so they will move a game closer.
Jesus Sanchez, a walk-off 2-run double.
A sweeper that drops below the zone.
Their series against the Cubs.
Good take from Rowdy. It's 2 balls, 1 strike.
Red Sox with a 3-1 win over the Mets. The Astros with a 4-3 win over Tampa.
Fastball up and out. 3-1 on Rowdy. And he might draw back-to-back walks on back-to-back at-bats.
3 balls and a strike here to count to Tellez.
3-1 offering. Rowdy, high fly ball. Center field. It's going to die, though. Roberts under it. Makes the catch. 1 out.
All right, then some scores from the Central, Steve.
Well, there's a couple games delayed. With the Twins leading the Guardians, St. Louis all over Detroit, and a little later on, the Kansas Cities and San Francisco going at it.
I'll give you
Now Leody Taveras to the plate for the Mariners. He's also hitless tonight.
That thing got delayed.
Well, the
And a
Red
fastball that just misses outside on the borderline.
I've never seen anybody.
Good take from Leody, ball 1.
That's where it started.
Yeah.
It was in St. Louis. It come out on the mound, and the skies just absolutely opened up.
Well, that was the game.
Taveras fouls that one off, and the count is tied at 1.
And you needed windshield wipers for your eyes to get any visibility at all. And eventually, they went, I think that's enough.
They tried to let him finish the game, and you could tell he was not happy with it.
Taveras rips one to right field, backing up at the track and at the wall. The catch is made by Josh Palacios. And Taveras hit that inside breaking ball.
A good thing tonight
That was a jam shot. He took that for a ride, almost hit it out of there.
A few of them.
Really nice hit by Taveras, but unfortunately Palacios was there.
A whole lot of wind in
He
the last
just missed
4 or 5 games.
hitting a home run. Now here's Dylan Moore to the plate with 2 outs in the 9th. And he swings and misses at a sinker right down the pipe for strike 1.
And then all of a sudden, the wind just completely takes it.
And with that very low upper deck, I mean, obviously it was designed a long time ago. And so the wind affects the ball more there than any place in the league.
Dylan Moore hits one into left field. It's going to drop for a base hit. A 2-out single for Dylan Moore. And maybe the Mariners could add some more runs here.
It's a slider that he doesn't get a whole lot of. Hits it off the end of the bat and just able to ease it out into left field. It's not a hitless night for him.
Here's Ben Williamson, the 9-hitter. having a multi-hit game.
They all look the same.
2 for 3.
They do indeed, and when you come
And
in
watch
at
the sinker
286,
drop
you
below
go
the
1
zone
for
for
4,
ball
it's not gonna
1
drop that
to start
much.
things off.
Well, Ben Williamson has had himself a night in the 9-hole, 2 for 3. Both times he has singled, he has scored.
1-0. Williamson taps an inside changeup foul, and the count is tied at 1. Two outs, 9th inning. Here's the 1-1 offering, and it's a sinker in the zone for strike 2.
I like the stuff of Gomez.
Stuff is always good. The only question with him is, can he throw it over the plate consistently? If he can, he can be a valuable man in the bullpen.
Dylan Moore at first, 2 outs. 1-2 in the 9th. Payoff pitch to Williamson incoming.
1-2 pitch.
And it's a sweeper that runs into the opposite batter's box. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Count is full.
And the count now.
Sinker dropped below the zone.
Which means Moore will be off with his pitch with 2 outs here in the 9th inning.
Let's see what will happen here. And time called by Matt Theis. Full count delivery from Gomez.
3-2.
And Williamson hit it into fair territory, and it was a little dribbler to third. Nothing that the White Sox could do, and Williamson
About the execution.
has an infield single with 2 outs in the 9th, and Miguel Vargas almost threw it away as well.
He's hit it very effectively. You're not going to get him at first, so Miguel says, well, I'll give it a try at second, but then throws a lawn dart that Rojas is able to get.
2 outs in the 9th, Moore at second, Williamson at first. Order flips over to the top, and here comes JP.
White Sox were starting to put things together when Miami came to town last week. Won 4 of the next 5. Put together a 3-game win streak. But then lost the finale in Cincinnati. Got swept up north in Wrigley. And the White Sox have now lost 4 in a row.
First pitch is a changeup outside, ball 1.
And will need a comeback in the bottom of the 9th inning to avoid a 5-game losing streak.
Sinker that runs up and out, 2-0.
Top of the order, J.P. Crawford has been on base twice tonight.
Runners at second and first, 2 outs. Look over at second. Now the 2-0 offering from Gomez is inside for ball 3.
And it's now 3-0.
And the bases could be loaded for Mitch Garver, who replaced Jorge Polanco as the DH. Last inning. 3-0 pitch. Upstairs, it's a 4-pitch walk drawn by JP, and the bases are juiced with 2 outs in the 9th for Mitch Garver.
Gave him a shot. Now the White Sox giving him a chance to throw strikes here, but he loads the bases here in the 9th inning.
Ethan Kent's coming out.
And we'll get a mound visit. Pitching coach of the White Sox
Well, you
heading
know
out
the
to the
stuff
mound.
is good enough because when you're given the opportunity with 2 teams you know are going to the playoffs, there's a very good chance both win the division, but they're both going to the playoffs one way or the other. When they give you a shot, you know they believe that your stuff is good enough to be in their bullpen. And the Sox know that Gomez's stuff is good enough to be in their bullpen. Throwing strikes, if it's problematic, he's going to be in somebody else's bullpen.
Last time the Mariners
All
had
right,
bases
Moore at
loaded.
third, Williamson at second,
Grand Slam by
JP
Julio
at
Rodriguez
first.
in the eighth. Now it's Mitch
2 outs,
Garver
top of the ninth. Mariners up 5-0, and they have a chance for another Grand Slam. Here's Mitch Garver. Sinker right down the pipe, strike one.
Some good conversation gets Gomez back on track, starts the
Mitch
at-bat.
Garver only has one career Grand Slam. Julio also had one career Grand Slam before he hit one last inning. Sweeper in the zone, strike two. Quickly, 0-2 on Garver. And Gomez has a chance to get out of this jam and keep this lead where it is. Or keep this deficit where it is, rather. Here's the payoff pitch to Garver. Outside sweeper, ball one.
Nobody working in the White Sox bullpen. This is Gomez's jam to get out of right now.
It's Yoendry's against the world. I think probably that's what Ethan Katz imparted to him. These guys are yours now.
1-2 pitch incoming. Garver,
Fly ball to right field.
fly ball.
Palacios comes in.
Under is Josh Palacios. He makes the catch. Mariners leave them loaded, but they lead 5-0 heading to the bottom of the ninth. Bottom of the ninth. 5-0 Mariners lead. Chase Mydroff will lead things off for the White Sox, and maybe by some miracle they can win this game. They'll have to face a new pitcher for Seattle. It's Troy Taylor.
So we'll see if this can be the start of things.
Chase Mydroff is a single in the third inning. He stole a base. And he watches a fastball go by him.
And that one misses down, 1-0.
Ball one. That looked like it was in his zone.
Let's see if Taylor noticed that and will groove one in.
Chase Mydroff was the last White Sox hitter to reach base. All the way back in the third inning.
And it misses 2-0.
And a fastball. Once again, it looked like it was at the knees in the zone, but call the ball. 2-0. And a fastball way outside that pops out of the glove of Raleigh, and it's quickly 3-0 on the leadoff man, Chase Mydroff, and Taylor's losing him. It looked like he overthrew that fastball there.
Doesn't look the most comfortable. They have a 5-0 lead.
And that's a strike. Fastball right down the pipe. 3-1.
3 balls and a strike to count here to Chase Mydroff.
And a fastball that misses outside, and Chase Mydroff draws a leadoff walk. As I like to say for pitchers, leadoff walks are never good.
Reach after 17 previous have been retired.
The White Sox finally have a base runner for the first time since all the way back in the third inning, and it's ironically Chase Mydroff who breaks that drought. Now Matt Tice, who has a single in the first inning, comes to the plate. And he swings and misses at a fastball. Inside. Or outside, sorry. Ball one. Or I mean, strike one. Jeez. Fastball outside.
See, Troy
Count
Taylor
tied
has
at
had
1.
no problem throwing strikes here. And the White Sox content. But they need some base runners down 5.
Another fastball that can't reach the zone. 2 balls, 1 strike on Matt Tice.
I wonder how quickly will the Mariners bullpen get up here in this 9th inning.
Tice gets on pretty quickly.
Whoa.
Inside. 3-1, and Troy Taylor really struggling here.
He had pretty good control
And
up until coming into this game.
Here's the 3-1. And it's at the edge of the zone for strike 2. The count is full. Really nice pitch from Troy Taylor there. Dice calls time.
Dice will use his time. With Miguel Vargas waiting on deck, nobody out to start this bottom of the ninth.
Full count pitch. Down low. Ball 4. Matt Tice draws a walk. Back-to-back walks drawn by the White Sox. Troy Taylor really struggling. And hey now, the White Sox have something cooking.
Pete Woodworth coming out.
2 outs. Two base runners with no one out in the ninth.
Bullpen is stirring for the Mariners.
As we get a mound visit here for Seattle. And maybe this White Sox 5-0 deficit could turn into a 6-5 win. We'll see.
Let the bullpen start to get loose. You know, 5-run lead.
Mound visit over. Now to the plate
Give up a little base hit
for the
here,
Sox.
maybe. You get closer, somebody hits one out of the ballpark, right?
As Andres Munoz is now warming up
Getting ready in the pen.
in the Mariners
When you got a
bullpen.
guy who's wild like Taylor, is this a situation as a hitter you're taking until he throws a strike?
Used to be automatic, now
Here's Miguel Vargas.
he's swinging a lot of pitches out of the zone.
And it's a fastball that just misses the zone. It's ball 1 on Vargas.
We'll see how this plays out.
2 on with nobody out. The 1-0 here to Vargas.
1-0 is a sweeper at the bottom of the zone for strike 1.
That sweeper, trying to get anything over.
That's what catchers will do, especially experienced catchers. If a guy can't throw a fastball strike, they'll call.
1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the pitch. Vargas pops it up.
And this one was popped up.
Right to Tavares in right. 1 out.
And there's out number
Runners
1.
stay put. Now Luis Robert Jr. to the plate. He's hitless
So
tonight.
far, it's only been the
Really
sweep
struggling so far this
that
season.
Taylor has been able to control here in this 9th inning. Two on for Luis Robert Jr.
First pitch to Robert. He swings and misses. And a fastball inside and below the zone. Strike 1. Robert ground ball foul. Quickly 0-2 on him.
And with 2 fastballs, Taylor is now ahead of this count. 0-2 to Robert Jr.
One out, bottom of the ninth. 2 runners on it, second and first. Here's the payoff pitch to Robert, and it's a sweeper that misses down and away. Ball 1. 5-run deficit for the White Sox. My drop at second, Dice at first.
With Troy Taylor.
Look over at second, now the 1-2 delivery to Robert. High fly ball to center. Charging it is Julio, and he couldn't make the diving catch. My drop will stop at third. The bases are loaded with 1 out in the bottom of the ninth.
It's a big effort by Rodriguez, and he probably thought he should have made this catch.
And it was in the glove of Julio, but when he spun around, it popped out.
The ground can cause a fumble.
The bases are loaded for Josh Palacios.
Another base hit here, and things get a little more interesting.
With 1 out in the bottom of the ninth.
First pitch here to Josh.
Here's the first pitch
Palacios.
from Troy Taylor, and it's a fastball at the knees for strike 1.
Piece of the zone, strike 1.
Josh Palacios has a double in the second inning tonight. Trying to draw the White Sox closer. Fly ball to left field. Randy's under it.
The line. makes the correct
1 out.
tag.
Will Mydroff tag? He doesn't.
And now the Sox down to their final out here in the ninth.
And that's actually 2 outs to the bottom of the ninth. Chicago down to their final out, and Andrew Vaughn will be the last hope for the White Sox with the bases juiced and 2 outs. He's the designated hitter. 2 ground outs in the lineout for Vaughn.
So last chance for the Sox will be Andrew Vaughn.
Vaughn, fly ball to center field. Julio charging it. It drops for a base hit. Mydroff will score. And the White Sox are finally on the board with 2 outs in the bottom of the ninth. The bases are still juiced. And the game time run will come to the plate improbably for Chicago.
That's a slider that stays up. Andrew gets it off the end of the bat for the second time. Rodriguez, a fairly softly hit ball to center. Can't come and get it. And so the Sox with a chance.
White Sox have a chance to tie this baby up at 5, and Troy Taylor,
And we'll be back.
after a very disgusting outing, is out of this game. We'll be right back with 2 outs in the ninth, and the White Sox threatening here.
And the
Mariners closer Andres Munoz comes in with the bases loaded, 2 outs in the ninth, trying to get the save,
behind Suarez in the major
and
leagues.
it's Michael A. Taylor who's at the plate. He is the game time run. As the bases are loaded
Fewest earned runs allowed this year.
with 2 outs.
I guess you can't get any fewer.
5-1 Mariners. It's 0-1 on Taylor. Here's the 0-1 offering. Taylor fouls it off, and the White Sox are down to their final strike.
Here tonight. But with the way things played out here in this ninth inning, tying run at the plate.
This is for the win.
Down to his final strike.
Munoz deals. Slider in the dirt. Ball 1.
Nice stop.
White Sox stay alive.
Really good at that.
Hope flowing through this building.
This slider in the dirt. He's able to backhand it and make sure there's no advancement.
1-2.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Chases the slider.
Well, the Sox made it interesting.
Down and away.
Leaving the
And the White Sox did make it interesting, but the Mariners survive and win 5-1
Davis Martin was just
here in
a
Chicago
better fit.
after Julio's grand slam,
Again,
for the most part,
and the Mariners
busted the game open.
Unfortunately, the losing
See y'all later.
streak
RV out. Peace.
goes to 5 games in a row.